August 28th, 12:16 a.m. I get a tip with subject line Deadman mode GP bug, trying to get it patched so it's not abused, and the tip included a step-by-step guide on how to recreate it, which I promptly did, obviously just to test it, not to make GP. Basically, to access Deadman mode Apocalypse, you have to go to the permanent world 45 Deadman mode and talk to the NPC Nigel in Lumbridge Graveyard, and basically be like, hey, I really want to play Deadman mode Apocalypse, and Nigel's like, okay, your permanent Deadman mode character on this world will be erased though, is that okay? And then you're just like, yeah, I really don't give a shit. Great, so now you spawn into Deadman Apocalypse with a starter kit, and when you open the starter kit, you get an extra free sigil, some of which are only worth like 5 or 10k, others are worth like 200 to 600k. And look, this is handy, you can just use Nigel to teleport to Varrock, sell the sigil on the Grand Exchange, teleport back to Lumbridge, trade the gold off to one of your accounts, and then guess what? You can actually go from Deadman mode Apocalypse back to the permanent Deadman mode world and erase your Apocalypse character. Then, you can join Deadman mode Apocalypse again from the permanent world by talking to Nigel again. You get a starter pack again, you get another sigil, you can sell it on the Grand Exchange. I tested it and estimated it was about 4 to 10 million GP per hour, depending on sigil luck and Grand Exchange prices. And that's when I was like, oh boy, it's so good that a botter didn't find this. What an easily bottable exploit. And I sent over a tip off to Jagex about it and got no response. Fast forward 12 hours later, August 28th, 12:33 p.m. I get another tip. Deadman mode, huge bot farm, bots muling and using Nigel to teleport. My first thought was, uh-oh, the bots did know about the exploit, they just weren't online when I was testing it earlier. And when I go to check it out, there are clearly bots all muling to the same account and talking to Nigel. And the person who tipped me off was there too, because it was only a minute or two after I got the tip off. So I chat with him for a couple minutes, and then the mule says, "You're always online, Pugger, lol." Weird thing to say, like this person wouldn't know whether I'm online in game or not. My private is off. Then the mule says, "You should have been in the Scout Discord, lol." And that rang a bell. The Scout Discord was a Discord I'd been invited to that had some people group PKing, it had some Scout bots and some PvP client cheating. I'd hopped into the server and talked to a few people who were showing off PvP cheats, but ultimately didn't make a video about it and left the server. Long story short, I knew this guy. I guess when you've been doing this as long as I have, you've talked to most of the major players, so when something is being exploited, 10 to 1 odds I've chatted with the people doing it. Anyway, the bot farm shuts off in front of my eyes, but I immediately messaged the person who had invited me to that Scout Discord, and he said he recorded the whole operation and will show me eventually. And we'll get into that right after this. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, trusted by more than 9 million men worldwide, and they come again changing the grooming game with a brand new product. It's time to power up your grooming routine with the all-new Handyman Compact Face Shaver from Manscaped. And let's start with the most important feature, the dual blade at the top that leads to a quick, close shave. Equipped with a standard foil shaver as well as a long hair leveler blade, the Handyman will knock down up to 3 days worth of growth. It also features skin-safe technology designed to help reduce nicks and cuts, and it's waterproof. This helps make cleanup quick and easy. The Handyman has a nice weight to it and it's designed to fit really nicely into your hand. It also gets 60 minutes of runtime per charge and is compact enough to easily pack on trips. So if you want to level up your grooming game, the Handyman Compact Face Shaver from Manscaped is a must-have. And here's the best part. I partnered with Manscaped to offer you an exclusive discount. Visit manscaped.com and use the code PUGGER20 at checkout and get 20% off your purchase of the Handyman. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. Thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. The next day, the exploit was patched. Jagex never responded to my tip, and I'd gotten a few more tips in the meantime that said they'd sent it to other people and Jagex, so they probably patched it from a community tip-off. Anyway, this guy tells me everything since it's patched, and sends me footage of the bots. Literally 2 minutes into Deadman Apocalypse's release, the group found the exploit and started botting it on a few dozen accounts. In the first hour or so, there was no market for sigils yet, but you also get 5k cash from the starter pack, so they started just botting that. 30 minutes into Deadman mode, the mule had 1.1 million GP just from trading over the 5k GP, which is a big cash stack for being 30 minutes into an absolutely brand new world. In this clip alone, the mule gets traded 125k in less than 3 minutes. And that's only when the bot farm was starting up. Many more bots hadn't even been created yet. And as soon as there was an established market for sigils, each bot could get up to 600k per reset instead of 5k. And later that first day, when there was an established market on the GE for sigils, each account was making an average of 3 to 13 million Deadman mode GP per hour, depending on sigil luck and sigil prices on the Grand Exchange. By the time it was patched, they had made over 5 billion GP in Deadman mode, split between multiple people in the group. They don't have screenshots of the entire loot in the same place at once because they were swapping it continuously, but one of the group members, just from their split, sent me a screenshot of 2.2 billion GP in Deadman mode and another 13 billion GP in the main game. Now, if everyone in the group swapped, depending on how early they were with swap rates, the exploit would have made them somewhere between 50 billion GP to 200 billion GP. All I can say is, at least it's patched now, and at least it wasn't in the main game, because even though they're swapping GP over from Deadman mode, the main game GP isn't coming from a bot, it's coming from other people swapping for Deadman mode GP. Needless to say, this is one of those obvious mechanics that a company like Jagex should probably catch before the game mode is released. Now there are accounts running around in Deadman mode with billions of GP. A new bot script has been quietly developed over the past month. A fully automated bot that hunts players and bots alike in the wilderness. And I sat down and chatted with the maker of this new PvP bot. He told me if he can fully perfect it, he's going to run the script with as many accounts as he can get his hands on. Let's start with the basics. When this bot script is started up, it hybrid PKs around the wilderness. If it gets a kill, it banks and re-gears. It almost never dies, but if it does, it can simply re-gear and continue PKing. The example clip here is of it running on a pure PKer with its hunting location set to the Revenant Caves. Makes sense since there are so many mid-level bots there. It gets a kill, it loots the key, banks to re-gear, and repeats the process. Some accounts do get away. Usually if the target is already protecting from magic during the teleblock, the half TB usually runs out. And this is just one of the accounts used to test the script. It has a kill to death ratio of 74-5, and that's including early testing. The creator of the script told me that 4 of the 5 deaths were because the script broke early on. One was when a higher level max peer actually outlasted the bot and the bot was unable to escape. So going forward, we're looking at something like a minimum of a 74 KD ratio. It's gonna get better. The bot owner has basic escape tactics programmed in, basically just teleporting or running when low on food, but they're also implementing freezing the target and logging out under them if the bot is almost out of food, which will likely boost the KD over 100, meaning 100 kills per 1 death. Right now, the script is averaging between 3 to 6 mil GP per hour, depending on how quickly it can find targets. I'm guessing most of the targets are bots. That translates to 8 to 15 kills per hour. Like, imagine coming back 5 hours later and this bot has racked up 50 kills of other players. If it ran for a full day straight, it would average between 150 to 350 kills per day. It would only take 20 of these bots to take over the Revenant Caves completely across all worlds. Maybe 75 to 100 of them to take over every active spot in the wilderness. Now, clips are one thing. I knew I had to feel what it was like to have this bot hunt you to understand how big of a threat it is. So I hopped into the Revenant Caves at Pyre Fiends, where the bot seemed to be PKing, and waited. I did also send a message to the creator to make sure the bot was running so I wasn't just sitting there. My account is within 5 combat levels of the Terminator bot, and I wore realistic gear that I'd wear as a PVMer at Revenants. I think that's him. I think that's him. Oh, and I'm venomed already. I think this is the bot. I may have had one tick to teleport before the bot teleblocked me if I wasn't in the Rev Caves, but since I was in combat in the Rev Caves, I would have been blocked from teleporting anyway. And I started taking damage very quickly early on in the fight. The bot changes attack styles based on overhead prayers the target is using. And I'm not the best prayer switcher, but I feel like I got the right prayer up for probably 60 to 70% of hits. It didn't help that I had to spam eat like half the fight. Let's cut back into live commentary. All right, yep, that's it. Wow, look at how quickly it got me. No freaking way! I wasn't even close! 21 Wildy! I'm not good by any means, but still. Since that fight wasn't even close, I got the owner to run it back, but this time I brought a full inventory of brews and anti-venom. And check this out. Halfway through the fight, another PKer starts cheering on the PK bot, saying that I'm definitely the bot. The script maker was watching this all go down and responded, "What if I'm the bot?" Just absolutely ridiculous. I did escape out of the Rev Caves with a little less than half of my brews left. The bot could have followed me, but the owner shut it off. So with a full inventory of brews, you could probably escape this Terminator bot, but it's not realistic or cost effective to bring them if you're PVMing. I think unfortunately very soon we're gonna see a lot of these roaming the wilderness, killing real players. tip comes in about a new breed of revenant bots that tries to freeze you while they escape, and they have a full Zerishan switch. Sounds like it's worth investigating, and it took a good amount of world hopping before I found one, but I did find one, and they clearly one-tick full Zerishans and entangle you as they run away, which is semi-effective at escaping. But as these bots advance, I'm guessing they'll get better and will actually freeze and then try to run under you to log out. It's definitely an interesting step to see botters take at the very least. While I was hopping around, I also found this account, Feast Cows 987, in full Zerishan with an accursed scepter. It seemed very bot-like, a bot username, and it was killing revenants when I hopped in, and also tried to entangle me to escape. It could be the same script, just a mage-only build. It did end up getting away. I was mainly trying to observe the script's functionality more than get kills. Its stats are also pretty suspicious, with basically just 70 magic and 43 prayer. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's a bot? The more I think about it, the more I think these bot scripts could converge. The PvP bots in the community and the PvM bots in the community could be combined to create a bot that does revenants, for example, but effectively fights back if you try to kill it. That's the direction we're starting to see this go in anyway. A Discord notification out of the blue from an account I'm not friends with comes in, showing my actual location in-game that I'm currently in. The ping was from 2 minutes ago with the headline, "Sirpugger spotted." Obviously, I was pretty confused, like, there's a bot tracking me in-game? The person then tells me they've set up something similar to the Homeless People Network in John Wick. If you don't know the reference, this person is implying they have a bot network that sees much of what goes on in Runescape. And I asked how long this has been going on. They said years. Then immediately sent me a screenshot of my location pinged to them 5 weeks ago in a completely different spot near Draenor Manor. Now that I think about it, I was looking at free-to-play bots about a month ago in that area. So essentially what they've actually done is added scout bot code to all of their different bot scripts in-game. So whenever I come into contact with one of their bots, they get pinged. But I wasn't special. They did it for multiple streamers and other YouTubers and whoever else they wanted to. Kinda spooky. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.